Hello, World Civilization 106 class. Welcome to week 11. I hope you all enjoyed last week. I hope you enjoy every week, but I happen to really enjoy putting these lectures together. And this week, covering Islam, this I think is also extremely important. And what makes this extra important for all of us here is that the United States has been very much entrenched in what is called the Islamic world. And there has been within our country, in the culture wars that we have, a debate about Islam itself. We had a president that actually, and this was a quote, that Islam hates us. I've watched people on news clips to say Islam is not a religion, it's an ideology. And then you have other people who say Islam is not violent, it's a religion of peace. What I would like all of you to do is to simply take all of that cultural warfare discussion out of the picture and think about nuance and global world culture, and think about it in context to all the other systems that we've learned about. And what you're going to see, and why I included some more obscure parts of information on Islam, where I put the Alawites and the Druze, for example. Now look, that's very dense material, and I'm not expecting you to get all of it. What I want to show you, though, is that the Middle East and the influence of Islam is a much more complex thing than the way that it's been presented to you in media, like so much of everything else. Okay, and what I would like you to realize too is that when people talk about is this religion a religion of peace, or is this one a religion of violence, I think that very question is problematic. Now, if you take my 107 class later on, my World Civ 107, when we talk more about imperialism and war, things that are outside of just the belief systems, you'll see that violence and religion and peace it always goes hand in hand. But in fact, I think even in this class, you're noticing that. Think about how Buddhism came into Japan. That wasn't necessarily a peaceful way about it, but Buddhism is associated with or thought of as a peaceful and tolerant religion. And I have lived in Buddhist countries. I can tell you that Buddhism, that is the message of Buddhism. But we have countries now like Myanmar and India that actually persecute Muslims. And that's Hinduism and Buddhism. And Hinduism and Buddhism are, generally speaking, viewed as more tolerant religions. But the point that I want to make is that if you look at human drama, I feel like the reason why I'm speaking about this here in the context of Islam, because I'm realizing the way that the discourse has been in popular media. Okay, just to make that clear. I've watched some popular atheists, and they have discussed the issue of whether or not that the world is more violent or intolerant because of religion. Now, I'm not actually getting into the debate about atheism or not. What I would like to say is this, and I'm just letting you know one of my opinions, and you can think about this as we go through. I think that political entities manipulate religion for their own self-interests more than the other way around. In other words, I don't think that you have a world full of very peaceful, tolerant nation states, and then religious leaders come in and tell them, that we need to hate X, Y, or Z religion and impose this religion on the world. I think what you have is political entities that exist, and they embrace certain ideologies, and then whatever ideology is embraced by the state enacts or unleashes onto the public. And every once in a while you have social groups, right, where you get mob violence, where maybe a social leader is trying to deal with certain things, and you might have a plague, something that people can't understand, and somebody whips up their fervor and tries to explain it religiously and at the expense of somebody else. And so I'm bringing that up to, get us to think about the way the discourse has been, and the fact that you probably, I'm emphasizing to watch this documentary clip on the Islamic version of Jesus Christ. And he is called Isa el-Masih, Jesus the Messiah. He's believed to be the Messiah by Muslims. Now, in a very different version, but for all of the long discussions that's been taking place about Islam and U.S. foreign policy and the war on terror and all this kind of stuff, you might be shocked that you never even heard of the fact that Jesus Christ is a prophet and important to Muslims. Okay, so I just want to point that out. And if any of you also, I just want to point out, and I can't remember right now, I think I might have mentioned it in one of my videos. While most Arabs are Muslims, most Muslims are not Arabs. The largest Islamic country demographically is Indonesia, Southeast Asia. And we're going to cover Africa soon, where we actually talk about Christianity and Islam and even Judaism and animism. Some of these other topics we've talked about converging on the continent of Africa in ways that also you probably have not been aware of. So I'm hoping that as you come out of these week module sections, I know that you might be a little overwhelmed with all this different knowledge, and I drop a lot of history on you in here. What's important is that you walk away being aware of the complexity and the nuance, and have just of this broader understanding. And it's okay that you don't remember everything. By the way, I don't always myself. So, and look, so if you have any questions, anything else on this, let me know. For now, I'm still taking in late work without you asking for full credit, okay? So that's not going to last forever. Take advantage of it now. I will get to grading. I'm a little bit slow on some of the grading, but I'm taking a little bit longer because I'm also letting some of you turn in late work, okay? And also, I just want to say this last thing. If I find out there's plagiarism, as you get desperate, don't do it. This happens every semester. And people also plagiarize in their comments on discussions. I understand the desperation that happens of trying to cram and get things done, but don't do that. I'm gonna deal with that, and sometimes I see it early on, and I just wait, and I see the pile up, and I give you a chance to confess before I have to intervene. And don't worry about it. Don't get paranoid and ask yourself, no, if you did or not, okay? So you don't have to, just let me make that clear. And so if you have plagiarized, you feel bad about it, you want to address it with me, okay? We can work through this if you do it that way, but don't let me catch you, okay? And just don't do it, okay? I'm letting you guys turn in late work to get full credit. Do the work yourself. I believe in you all. Take care of yourselves. Be good to yourselves. There's still a crazy world out there. The war is still raging. There's still much going on. And so, take a deep breath, and, we pray and hope for much better things to come and all that. So we'll be in touch.